Hey everyone, it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and we ended up moving this last weekend, so it's just chaos in the background. I don't know exactly where I'm going to be filming. I don't know how the lighting is or the white balance or anything. We're just going to roll with it today, and we will adjust as needed in the future. So I apologize ahead of time for crazy background and all the filming issues that I'm probably going to have with this video, but I wanted to go ahead and film my 7-week update. I'm getting really close now to 8 weeks, but I wanted to wait until I got my scan. So I went in at about 7.5 weeks for my scan and everything came back perfect. Baby is completely healthy. I'll show you guys, I'm folding down the information. There's little baby. It looks just like a blob right now. It's there. Heartbeat was strong at 153 beats per minute, which is a great strong heartbeat. I was measuring 7 weeks and 2 days on my scan when they measured the baby, and I was supposed to be 7 weeks and 4 days according to my last period. So they are just keeping my due date the same. It's going to be October 26th. That's my estimated due date, and of course that doesn't mean anything. I was almost 2 weeks overdue with Olivia, so the due date does not mean anything to me. And I will talk about my birth plan and my birth thoughts moving forward. I'll do that in a whole separate video when I have all my thoughts together on it. I did talk about this with my OB who delivered Olivia afterwards. I talked about, what went wrong, what could have gone better, all the things involved in her birth. I'm definitely eligible for a VBAC, but there are some caveats with that. So I will cover that all in a very lengthy video most likely, because it's definitely something that's on my mind as we look forward to the future, because this baby's got to come out somehow. The appointment was all straightforward. I'd been going to this OB, had all my lady appointments there even before now, so I feel really comfortable with my doctor. I like the practice. At the first appointment, they basically just kind of walk you through what to expect. We talk about what genetic tests we want and don't want, and they walk you through how things are done at their practice. And each practice varies, when they do each scan. Pretty much everybody does the 20-week anatomy scan, but everything else kind of varies a little bit. So I was really interested to hear that information and see what to expect from this particular office. I think this is the same with Olivia. I'm going to go monthly until the 3rd trimester, and then they want to see you every 2 weeks. Unless something goes wrong and you become high risk at any point, then you start going more frequently. They also told me what hospital I will deliver at, which is really good to know. It's very close by, and that's really reassuring since we live in a big city. Sometimes traffic is kind of scary, so it's really good to know that the hospital is really close by and we don't have to worry about trying to travel a far distance. They did blood work, they did the ultrasound. The one thing I really wanted to talk about was getting some nausea medicine. So she said do the B6, which I have been doing, but I can do that 3 to 4 times a day, which I've only been doing it 1 time a day. I didn't realize I could take it so frequently, so I am starting to do that. I also picked up some Unisom, but that is a sleep aid, and if you have gone through this before, does it knock you out? I'm really worried about taking it during the day and not being able to function. I would rather be nauseous and semi-function than be totally zonked out and not be able to function. I do have a preschooler with me most of the day. I really have to be present and able to function at least on some level. So I'm scared to take the Unisom during the day. I will take it at night and see if it helps at all. But she did give me a prescription. I have to go pick that up today, and I'm so thankful. So the days that I'm having just a really bad time, I can go ahead and rely on that medicine. I've just been miserable this last week, especially. It's just gotten worse and worse. And she did ask if I've been throwing up, and I only throw up a little bit here and there, but for the most part, I'm just have to be really still, have to sit down or lay down, and can't really move around a whole lot, or I'm running to the bathroom. So I'm not throwing up a whole lot, but I can't do anything. If I am up and trying to do things, that's when I do end up throwing up. So I haven't been throwing up a whole bunch, but I'm right on the verge of it at all points in time, pretty much. That's been a really big struggle these last few weeks. I've been talking about it in all of these weekly updates, but it is bad. And so I did finally get a prescription for that. I'm so thankful that I'll have that now. Hopefully it will help with that. And I know that the morning sickness can peak in weeks 6 to 8, and I'm right in the middle of that, so I know I'm just in the worst period of time. And I think it was the same with Olivia. My week 7 video, I was super miserable. I'd had tons of migraines that week, and it was definitely one of the worst weeks in my pregnancy with her. So I'm anticipating the next couple weeks just being really tough weeks, and I'll just push through as best I can. I'm hoping that it'll be just like with her, where I was just really sick the first trimester, and then everything was pretty okay from then on until I got really pregnant here at the end. I got sick again, but for the most part, it was just these first few weeks that are really, really brutal. It's typical for a lot of women. I'm not even close to having really bad morning sickness where I'm throwing up all day. I only had that with one day with the migraine day, but it's just not fun to feel like you're gonna throw up at any point during the day and have some close calls. This week was definitely the toughest so far, especially like trying to move and unpack. I basically haven't done anything. Like Johnny's done most of it, and I do a little bit here and there, and then I have to sit down because I'm so sick. So now that we talked about doctor, I'm gonna go ahead and walk down my same list of questions. I'm at 7 weeks now, and baby is the size of a blueberry, and as of filming this, I'm almost 8 weeks, but I'm going by, 7-week information. New symptoms, I have had major poopy problems, and I think with Olivia, I was mostly constipated, except for the very, very beginning with Olivia. I was super constipated pretty much my entire pregnancy, and this has been like, I go back and forth between constipation and diarrhea, and it seems like every second or third day, I'm just totally miserable. The nausea is way, way worse those days, and I'm having to go to the bathroom multiple times a day, and basically I'm homebound those days because it's just coming out, and it's been really tough on those days. I feel like it's like a stomach bug where you just have to stay home and you can't move a whole lot because you're afraid that you're gonna have to run to the bathroom. It just seems to be every few days I go through the same thing where I'm like, oh, I'm so sick to my stomach and I feel miserable, and I eat soup those days, and it's just weird. I don't remember having any of this type of thing with Olivia, so it's definitely a new thing for me, and it doesn't seem to matter what I eat or drink on any of the days. It just comes in these waves of every few days. I'm having these same poopy issues. Another symptom that popped up this week is I am super out of breath. I could barely walk up the stairs without completely panting, and even just talking, I can sense that I'm out of breath. I was doing the meals of the week video. I started that for this week, and in those videos I am just huffing and puffing, and all I'm doing there is standing and talking about whatever food I'm making. So I really feel like I'm taking a lot of deep breaths and breathing a lot more than normal. And I don't know that that happened so early on with Olivia. I don't remember that so far in the weeks that I've watched. But of course, with baby number 2, things are gonna happen faster. So symptoms lingering from last week, still nauseous. I did have a bit of soreness in my breast area, and that's increased a little bit this week. They're definitely sore. And it's weird because I couldn't put a name or anything on how it felt last time when I was pregnant with Olivia, but now it definitely feels like engorgement. Like when you are breastfeeding and you really need to get some of the milk out, you get that tingling, heavy feeling, and they're really sore and achy. That's how it feels. So I'm really feeling that engorgement feeling. And also I go in and out of feeling almost like you're having a letdown, like the milk is starting to come out. You get these really tingly feelings in your nipples, and I go through that sometimes. So I'm having the engorgement feeling most of the time, and then the tingling, letdown feeling. It's really bizarre. There's no milk, but I'm getting those breastfeeding same feelings that I got when I was breastfeeding Olivia. So it's weird. I have a feeling like when my boobs were sore the first time around with Olivia, it was the same types of feelings, but I didn't really have any idea what it was. And now it just feels, just like those breastfeeding moments where you're really uncomfortable, and it's much more manageable now that I know kind of what it feels like. Whereas with Olivia, it's I could barely wear a bra. My boobs were hurting so bad. Any fabric that rubbed them was just torture. And now I'm oh, I kind of know these feelings and it doesn't really bother me. I'm still wearing my regular bra, even though I have those feelings. And it's really weird. The pregnancy second time around is definitely different. And as much as I'm complaining, especially in real life, complaining about the nausea and the poopy issues, I really like that I kind of know what to expect this time around, and I'm looking forward to that also, having a newborn again. I know what to expect from a newborn for the most part. Of course, each baby's gonna be different, but I'm not gonna be worried about every little sound and hiccup and noise like I was the first time, and I'm really looking forward to that Zen sort of experience where it's still gonna be crazy, it's still gonna be chaos, I'll be sleep deprived and probably wondering what the heck we did, but I will have some sense of knowing what's happening versus the brand new mom feeling when you're going through it the first time around. It's much scarier that time. So I'm kind of embracing any of the feelings because I know how temporary all of it is. And I feel like this is going off totally not on the questions, but it makes me think of there were moments when Olivia was a baby and she wouldn't take a nap, and I would let her nap on me and I would be there with her rocking in the chair, and sometimes feeling so angry, like, oh, I'm wasting my time. She should be sleeping in the crib, and getting so like upset about it and frustrated with it, where I think the second time around, like knowing it's gonna be, I'm gonna start crying, but knowing it's gonna be my second baby, my last baby, I hope to have those moments where I just get to hold the second baby. And there's the hormones. Hormones are raging, but I look forward to those moments, whereas the first time I'm like, why is this happening? And not embracing those moments sometimes. That's not to say I never embraced those moments, because I definitely did embrace a lot of those moments. And there were times we're rocking in the chair and I'm just like totally in love with looking at her. But there were also those times like, what am I doing with my life? I'm here wasting all this time, and getting super frustrated. And I know the second time around, I'm going to cherish those moments a whole lot more, because they are so fleeting and they do go so quick. And this is an Olivia thing now. Like, this video is going to be 10 years long, but Olivia started wearing like two-piece pajamas recently because she stopped wearing pull-ups at night. She just decided one day she didn't want to wear her pull-ups. Most of the time they were dry anyway, so we're like, yeah, go for it. And she wore underwear, and she's had one little accident, and it was early in the morning when she had already woken up. She forgot she wasn't wearing a pull-up and had a little tinkle in her bed. But other than that, she's been completely dry, and it's been awesome. But she switched to wearing two-piece pajamas so she could, you know, go to the bathroom easily on her own. And I didn't know that it would be the last time she wore the footy pajamas. Like, she absolutely refuses to put them on now. Like, it was a big, huge fit when we didn't have any clean two-piece pajamas, and all she had clean were the one-piece footy pajamas. She threw a raging fit. We ended up just putting her in regular clothes that are two pieces, because she was so upset. I didn't know at the time when she put on her last one-piece footy pajama that it would be the last one-piece footy pajama. And I've been really like sad over this like big milestone that just happened, and I'm getting weepy over it. But you just never know, like the last time you're gonna get to do something with your kiddo. All right, we gotta move on so I don't actually start crying about this one-piece pajama thing. Moving on, the only craving I'm still having is meat, and I really like any kind of Asian food. We've gone for Japanese a couple of times, and also we've picked up Panda Express. I really wanted their food, and I'm gonna go pick up some crab rangoons again today. I've just been craving anything Asian, meaty things, especially like steak and sausage and all the, basically like the red meat things that we don't eat a whole lot of. I want a steak every day, and it's just a little bit weird and different because of course I like those things. I also really like shrimp right now. I just don't usually eat that much meat, and that's like all that's on my mind as far as food. I haven't really craved a whole lot other than that. It's just like fleeting things like, oh, that sounds good right now. But the only thing I like consistently want is meat, and also some Asian food, and that kind of goes together. As far as aversions go, pretty much any smell of any kind makes me nauseous. It doesn't matter what the smell is. If I'm smelling something, even the same meat that I really want to eat, the smell of it makes me sick. And I'm just really trying to breathe out of my mouth a lot so that I don't smell things, even just anything. Any little smell makes me disgusted. I would say that for aversions, I don't really have very many food aversions, except I don't really want chicken, like a chicken breast or a chicken sandwich, anything that's like, you know, the regular chicken. I don't want that at all. I did eat orange chicken from Panda Express, but that's like coated and it's barely chicken. It's like junk food. But any kind of like regular chicken or shredded chicken, I just cannot stomach right now. It grosses me out. So we've not been having chicken dishes at all. As far as weight, I'm up 1 pound this week. So I'm right at 170, and that is 3 pounds up from my pre-pregnancy weight. I don't really have new discoveries except what the doctor said about what I can take. I can take the Unisom daily, and then the B6 3 to 4 times a day. And she said, take the prescription as needed. I think she gave me Zolfran. I'm not really sure what it is yet. I can take that one. She says, take that one just as needed. Like when you get desperate, don't rely on that every day. And so I'm hoping to not have to use that all that much. I'm hoping maybe taking the Unisom at night will help a little bit, and taking the B6 throughout the day. So it's just going to be an experiment this week trying to figure that out. And going with the nausea, I have to eat like every 1 to 2 hours, and it's exhausting. Like, even thinking about it, I'm not like hungry hardly at all during the day, but I get super, super nauseous, and I'm like, dang it, I feel like I just ate, I have to eat again. And then I look at the time and it's been 2 hours, and it really starts hitting about that 2-hour mark. So I need to get better about being more proactive about it, like setting a timer for like every hour or hour and a half and just eating a few bites of something. It's just like the last thing on my mind most of the day, aside from like thinking about steak. But even when I'm like craving it and thinking about it, I don't always want to eat it because I'm still feeling so like miserable digestively. So I really have to get better about that this week, just trying to eat so I like beat the nausea before it comes. So the best thing this week was hearing the heartbeat. I almost cried crazy in the doctor's office. I was so thankful to see the little heartbeat. I've been super sick, so I felt like, you know, we've got a really strong baby in there, really good hormones pumping, because I've just felt terrible. But I'm so glad the baby's there and healthy and things are looking good. The worst thing is the digestive problems, the poopy problems. It is just really miserable to feel like you need to go poop 20 times a day. And I feel really bad for anybody who has any sort of chronic pooping problems. It is miserable, and I just want to lay on the couch all day, every day. I'm pretty tired most of the time, but then combining that with the nausea and the poopy issues, it's just like I want to lay there all day. And Olivia, thankfully, is really independent and can play on her own some of the time, because there's sometimes I just need to lay on the couch, and she totally understands. At this point, like, she knows there's a baby in my belly. I told her that sometimes in the beginning, mommies can feel sick because the hormones are changing, and she doesn't understand like what hormones are or anything, but I've given her like the basis of she can understand why I need to lay on the couch. On the one hand, I really wish they would have been a little bit closer together. I was hoping more of like 3 or 3.5, and they're actually going to be a little over 4.5 years apart. But I'm so thankful that she's at an age where she can really comprehend and understand, like, mommy needs to lay on the couch and she's gonna have to play on her own for a little while. She's such a bright child. She totally gets what's going on as much as a 4-year-old can, and she's helped out so much. I just can't believe how much she's helped out. She's gotten her own snacks here and there when I just cannot stomach going into the kitchen or smelling whatever snack she's having. She's done it herself, and it's just been really great to have her be such a big kid and be able to help out so much. On the agenda this week, obviously unpacking. We're living in cardboard box HELL right now. We just need to get things unpacked, and it's just slow going for me. The other thing on the agenda is to tell everybody. I'm going to announce it at the end of this week on this channel, and then these videos will pop up, and then you guys will be up to date. I think as of next week, you'll be up to date in real time, and then I can start doing these weekly and answering your guys' questions every week as things progress. And we told Johnny's mom and Uncle David last night. They were both there. We FaceTimed with them, and Olivia had a little shirt that said promoted to big sister. I actually got to go pick her up. Her alarms just went off. They saw the shirt, and Uncle David's like, wait a minute, big sister. And they got really excited. We told them our good news, and we're going to tell Johnny's dad tonight. He was just out of town visiting his parents, our grandparents, and Olivia's great-grandparents. I'm sticking a set of pictures in the mail, the same pictures from the announcement for them, and they'll get to see those, and I'm really excited to share the news with everybody. I've been dying to tell you guys, especially like this channel. I haven't posted hardly anything the last couple weeks between the packing and the sickness. It's just been way too hard for me to even think about filming. I don't have any questions because you guys can't leave me questions yet. You don't know what's going on yet. I'll go ahead and show you guys my belly. I really feel like pot-bellied at this point, because I can't suck anything in. Hopefully I'm far enough back. Gotta look. Okay. So there you go. There's the lump. And I definitely don't feel like quite so bloated and stuck out, but I definitely feel pot-bellied. Like, that's way rounder than I'm used to feeling. And I don't know that it's even as big as it has been the last few weeks. So maybe the bloating part is going down. I'm really starting to feel like a harder part in there, like lower down. I feel some firmness going on. Oh, that reminds me, I actually have had one more symptom. The last few days, like the last 4 days or so, I have been waking up in the night to pee. Most of the time it's just one time a night, and it's like a few hours before I'm about to get up. I almost make it the whole night through, but not quite. So there is some good pressure on that bladder, and I'm definitely having to wake up in the night. I have a drink and a snack sitting on my vanity, so I can just grab a bite and drink and go back to bed. The first couple of nights when I woke up and went to the bathroom, The morning as I actually woke up, I was like having to go throw up right then. It was just totally miserable. And so having the snack the last few nights has really helped. I'm feeling somewhat sick in the morning, but not nearly to the level I was those nights I woke up, didn't do anything, and went back to bed. I also can fall asleep a lot easier after having a drink and a little snack. Those first few nights I was up for a while, like 45 minutes to an hour those nights, trying to fall back asleep. And it was because my stomach was empty and I was feeling sick, and the snack and drink really help with that. So I definitely recommend keeping a snack and a drink close by if you're pregnant and you're waking up in the middle of the night. That way you can stave off some of that nausea. Anyway, that's it. I gotta go pick up my little girl. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will catch you next time in my 8-week update. I will try to get more videos filmed for you guys in the next few weeks. We're just, we're doing the unpacking thing, so videos are gonna still be spotty a little bit here and there while I'm dealing with all the stuff in the background. So I hope you guys are well, and I will catch you soon. Bye.